and out how we're going to put it out and make sure that we have vinyl for everybody. So there's like a lag time between when I made it and when it enters the world. Oftentimes your life can change drastically between this point and this other point. And for example, my last album, Tortured Poets Department, by the time that album came out, I was in a completely different point in my life. So it was like, it's an interesting feeling sometimes putting albums out into the world. With this one, the coolest part is that it is absolutely the place that I still am in my life.
That's
the music matches the moment that I'm in. So
Brilliant.
it's so much easier to come in here and like talk about music that completely accurately like reflects what's going on in my life. So that's really fun. I would say that this album is a complete and total snapshot of what my life looks like right now.
Amazing.
Okay.
Because I read that you wrote it kind of about what was happening.
Is that your intention when you're writing, to like really hit that connection?
Thank you for saying that about that song. I'm so glad you like that one.
Oh, it's amazing. Because you say, when you know, but how do you know?
Yeah, so that song was so much fun to write because it goes through all these situations where oftentimes in life when we go through something that doesn't work out, whether it's in our personal life or in our friendships or in our career path, we oftentimes look at it as this like major setback. Like we've taken a step back, but actually I found that so many of those instances in my life have, based on how you respond to it, can catapult you forward in growth, in wisdom, in perspective. And I think those are the things that I've tried to like find to be the most attainable qualities and the most aspirational qualities in growing up, is like, can you react to certain situations in a way that benefits you and the people around you, and essentially like acquire wisdom because of it. And so Opalite is a song about like kind of forgiving yourself for having gone through something that didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. And it's because it says, like all of the perfect couples like would look at you and say like, when you know, and when you don't, you don't. And when you're not in that situation, when you don't know, you know that you don't know.
You know that you don't know.
And so it's like, it's giving yourself permission to like not have it all figured out, or not marry the first person you ever dated. Like stuff like that. Like I'm just happy that song exists. And also like that chorus, I'm really just stoked about how like absolutely infectious and borderline narcotic it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Shocking melody. Oh my God, it's crazy to talk about this music. It's been a secret for over a year. I just have this fixation on Shakespeare characters that I fall in love with, and I can't stand to see them meet a tragic demise. I can't. I don't want that to be what happened to them, because are you talking about Ophelia's she died? What do you mean?
How dare you?
I was
do that to
really
Ophelia.
excited to see what happened with her and Hamlet. They seemed great. And I kind of going back to like the song Love Story, which I wrote when I was a teenager, I was just like, I can't watch Romeo and Juliet not work out. What do you mean they both die? They don't in my version of things. So it's just like you just turn the movie off before the bad ending. But this is a little bit like that, where the fate of Ophelia talks about how, Ophelia was driven mad by love.
Relatable.
The hook says like, dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. So it's a love song. And it's also just got one of like the catchiest post hook kind of sections that I'm pretty proud of. There's a song called Father Figure, where the first line of the second verse says, I pay the check before it kisses the mahogany grain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's my favorite type of writing, right? Where you have to think about, what do those words mean? Oh, somebody got the bill before it hit the table, but you say kisses the mahogany grain. I'm like, okay, that's my favorite type of stuff to write. But there are some lines in the song The Life of a Showgirl that are very much sort of like the manifesto of how I've had to operate within this industry. It's a song about meeting one of your sort of idols, and they, instead of being what you thought they would be, they warn you against following in their footsteps, because they just want to be honest with you about how hard this industry is, and you do it anyway.
The ASMR of the bread bag.
Would you like to explain?
Yeah, so I've been baking, and so I brought Greg some sourdough because it's lemon blueberry, which I think is like a really nice variation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you've put the fate of Dophelia.
Yeah, the bread puns, like I think the worse they are, the better.
Well, do you know what? Obviously, I listened to the New Heights podcast.
You did?
Of course I did.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Are you joking? Of course.
I'm so glad.
And by the way, baller move to announce an album 90 minutes into a football podcast. But, okay.
They're like weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, but at 90 minutes, you talked about everything, and you went, by the way, here's a briefcase, here's the album.
I'm always trying to surprise people with how I announce albums. I'd done a few album announcements on award shows, and so, you do something one time, and people are like, I know what she's going to do next.
Yeah.
She's going to do the same thing she did before. So I was like, what are people not going to expect me to do? Is to go on a football podcast and announce an album. I love the kind of polarity of the masculine feminine there.
Well, it's very funny because you are very funny and you like silly stuff essentially. And I mean so you did your sourdough chat and then you talked about the album.
Yeah, I think I talked about bread for maybe 320 hours.
Well, longer than about the record.
People were like, okay, if she doesn't stop talking about sourdough, because it's like it's a danger for me to start because I cannot stop talking about bread when I start. And it has nothing to do with music. It's the most musically irrelevant thing. It's completely separate.
But it's nice.
It's nice.
And I'm so grateful because it's got lots of cat stickers on it as well, which I really like. In the
I chose them very carefully. For what your sense of humor is in my approximation of it. Having known you for as long as I have.
You've nailed it. You have nailed it. By the way, when you were doing the puns of your songs and bread, you did miss Bake It Off.
Well, I just thought it's too easy.
Yeah, but Dophelia is...
But that's current. It's current.
Sorry, it's current.
And that's the one thing that makes it relevant to our conversation.
So, the album's out.
The album is out, and I have such uncomplicated feelings of joy about it.
Yeah.
I do not feel any twisty, tortured way about it, which is not how I felt about the last album, because there was such a lag time between, when you make music and then we put it out, there's oftentimes your life can make drastic changes in those times. With this album, my life is in exactly the same spot as when I wrote the record.
I'm so pleased to see you, and I'm so pleased to see you happy as well.
I feel the same way about you.
And the album reflects your mood, which is, I think you're probably feeling quite giddy.
Yeah.
I think you're feeling bright and happy and sweary, which I really liked in some of the tracks on the album.
Yeah.
It's big, happy pop.
Yeah.
And you're in love.
Yeah.
You are. It's kind of gross.
No, it's not.
It's sickeningly...
No, it's not. It's not.
It's lovely.
I don't know what you heard. It's not that kind of album.
No, but it's lovely and bright and happy, but it's
also got teeth to it.
It absolutely has.
So I'm proud of that too, because it's a full picture of like the full life experience, which for me is like there's always some element of drama that someone is forcing into my consciousness, which is fun to write about too.
But by the way, I love being sickeningly in love. It's so nice.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's like I used to kind of have this dark fear that if I ever were truly like happy and free being myself and nurtured by a relationship, and what happens if the writing just dries up? What if writing is directly tied to my torment and pain?
Well,
and it turns out that's not the case at all, and we just were catching lightning in a bottle with this record.
But it's nice because you're from a place of happiness and love. You can go back to those places. You can look forward to other things, and that's what the record feels like, is that you're still able to access those feelings of frustration, of anger, of the really good stuff.
Yeah, and you basically, like, I think, I made this album with Max Martin and Shellback, who I hadn't worked with in maybe 7 or 8 years, and in the time that we kind of took a break from working together, we were all out there honing powers of different types, and one of the things I was really playing with in our time away was writing in character and this kind of album.
When did you start playing it to people? When did you play it to Travis, to Big Trav?
Oh,
can I call him Big Trav?
Yeah, you absolutely can. He responds to pretty much anything.
Okay,
which is great. He's a really easygoing guy. You will absolutely love him when you meet him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would play it for him as soon as I'd come back from Sweden.
Okay.
As soon as I'd come back from Sweden, I'd just like play it for him, and I knew that this was the kind of album that he was going to love the most. He's like so supportive of all of it, but like he's a real vibes guy.
He's a vibes guy. Well, you described him as an exclamation mark.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's such a lovely way of describing someone.
Thank you. It's very accurate.
What I was going to say to you was that, you and I have known each other for so long, longer than Travis has known you. I feel like I need to just check that, because the vibes are strong from him. I think he's a great guy, but I need to check for sure. I just want to play catch with him.
No, he would do that.
That's all I wanna do.
You'll love that. Like all of my guy friends are like, I just want Travis to like pick me up and throw me over a roof or throw me in the pool.
I could do that. I would love that.
Yeah. It's really, because it's like, he's 6'6", but it's also, the width of the shoulders is also like, just seeing him walk through a door is genuinely a privilege.
Yeah, okay, well that's great. I'd like him to maybe just do a wrestling move on me into a pool or something would be great.
The way that he's going to do that as soon as he sees you at our wedding is like, that's gonna happen. Like he's just gonna...
Whoa.
Oh, did I?
Am I coming?
Obviously.
Is it a destination wedding?
People don't think that we're actually friends. That was what, remember when you were like joking with me at the show we did about being sweaty?
So the photo shoot that we did with Mert and Marcus was so extraordinary, and I was so happy with it that I just wanted the fans to have as many images from this sort of world, this album era, as possible. And so I really spent a lot of time figuring out how I could make the best vinyl product and the best packaging and the best CD experience that they could have. And so we've got the CDs all have photo cards in them. The vinyls, they each have a poem inside of them, a unique poem. They've got like more images than we ever planned to put in there. We chose this really high gloss finish, which I've never done before, and I think it looks so cool. I think, we wanted this album to feel like really luxurious, and kind of as a nod to the luxury that a showgirl puts on when she's on stage. Meanwhile, like in the quick change room, she's like, maybe that's just me, I don't know. The vinyl packaging, the CD packaging, the photographs, the photo cards, it's all just something I'm very proud of. And it took a lot of time to put together, a lot of concentration, a lot of organization, but hopefully it pays off. I hope the fans are happy.
In an intimate iHeartRadio interview aired in early October, Taylor Swift captivated and thrilled listeners as she openly showered praise on her fiance, NFL superstar Travis Kelce, the life of a showgirl. Sensation's seamlessly intertwined revelations about her latest musical journey with deeply personal reflections on the whirlwind. Romance dominating headlines across the globe. The program, celebrated for its probing yet heartfelt questions, created a setting that coaxed genuine emotions from the artist, revealing a side rarely glimpsed by fans. Dressed in understated elegance, Swift's radiant expression mirrored her joyous mood, exuding confidence and warmth as she prepared to share insights into her private life. Almost immediately, the host referenced Travis Kelce, igniting anticipation among fans eager to hear about the NFL icon who has swiftly become a defining presence in her extraordinary love story.